Hello, everyone. How is everyone doing? How is your Monday? I am doing great. Okay. I had to put my tripod right. My phone fell and my screen underneath the tempered glass, it's kind of cracked in little spider webs yesterday. So I'm being very tentative with my phone today until I get it fixed. So how is everyone doing? I hope you all had a great Monday. I know it's the start of the week, so I hope you all had a good one and are having a good one because it's not over with yet. Tonight we have a special guest, Nanny, the Manny, is going to be our special guest. I see him watching. Danny, I need you to be on your phone because I can't invite you on if you are not on a mobile device. It won't let me bring you on. Hi, Emmy and Catherine, and who else is Linda? I see you, Danny. Are you on your mobile device or are you on your computer? Because if you're on your computer, I can't invite you live. So I need you on your mobile device. We have been anticipating this interview for a while. So while we're waiting on Danny to, let me see if I can, it says I cannot invite. Okay, then. That's connecting.
Hi.
How are you?
Hello.
How are you?
I'm doing
Finally.
very well. Yep, third time's a charm, hey?
Third time's the charm. Third time's the charm.
I'm caught slightly.
So how was your
I'm doing well.
Sorry?
Can you hear me okay?
Good. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I can hear you.
Fantastic.
Good.
Good.
I'm
dressed up. I'm dressed up for you and everything.
Are you dressed up for me? Oh, I feel so special.
Yeah.
I have on my nanny teeth.
Yeah, this is my Monday afternoon attire. I reside in this and just kick back and relax.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
It's nice to relax. Okay. So, tell us a little bit about you outside of the Manny world.
I'm sorry, what was the question?
Tell us a little bit about you outside of the Manny world.
There isn't much to tell outside of the Manny world because it's pretty much my everything. So my life is I work for a family on the weekends, predominantly on the weekends. But you don't want to know about that. You want to know about outside of the Manny world. I typically spend Monday through Friday as a full-time agency owner, placing predominantly male childcare specialists in roles with busy families. I also help train them if they haven't worked in a private setting before, if they've only worked as coaches or tutors or teachers, then I kind of show them the ways of how it's done in a private home because it's different. There's certain nuances that, it's those interpersonal skills and dealing with people in their private homes, which is kind of different to working in a school where it's a punch in, punch out kind of mentality. You're in their home, their private realm. So some people need some coaching on how that goes. But again, you asked about outside of the Manny world, and I guess my rambling kind of shows you that there really isn't much outside of the Manny realm. Yeah, there really isn't. I enjoy rock climbing and running and going to the movies.
Okay. Okay. Scary,
I'm sorry?
scary movies?
Oh, most definitely. Get Out was the last truly terrifying movie that I saw. And then A Quiet Place was pretty good as well.
Okay. Let's see. I have no clue what you're talking about because I don't do scary movies.
Ah, you're missing out. It's
I'm thinking.
You feel tense from just working with children, I'm sure.
Well, it probably does relieve some tension, but that's not my kind of tension reliever.
Ah, yeah.
So, tell me. Let me ask my first question.
Okay.
How long have you been working with children?
I'd say professionally, as in getting paid for it, for about just over 10 years. And then I'm 33 years old, and I am the eldest of 4 kids. And my parents broke up when I was 16. And then I kind of stepped into the big brother role. So I would say I've been working with kids in an unprofessional setting for as long as I can remember, really. I was everyone says, every professional nanny says they were the go-to babysitter for their neighborhood. And I can pretty much attest to that as well. That was me.
Okay. So you were the teenage babysitter too?
Yeah. I was the one that would just see a kid and just, kids and animals, they're my thing. Adults not so well, but little kids and people that can't talk to me, that's my element.
Okay. So tell me, when did you know that you wanted this to be your career?
I think I knew that I wanted it to be my career when I realized that it actually could be a career. I mean, I'm I'm from a very small town in England where nannies aren't a thing that exist. But then upon coming to LA and really finding out that people make their life out of caring for children, I knew that was what I would want to do, because it's not working. It's just doing what I do naturally, but also getting paid for it. So it's a win-win.
That's what most nannies say. I mean, that's what I say because I always say I get paid to play.
Yeah, I mean, it's a no-brainer.
Yes. Why not get paid to play? So yeah,
exactly.
That's what I always. Hello to everyone who just came in. If you have questions, please start typing them down. So, Soma said, "We love Daniel here in LA. Our man." Okay.
Thanks, Salma.
You have fans.
Yeah, she's cool. We spoke this morning. I paid her $10 to say that.
Oh, well. Okay.
I didn't really.
Well, what about everybody saying how great you are?
Oh, I didn't. No, that's organic.
Oh, okay. Okay. So you didn't get them. Okay. So tell me, what exactly attracted you to this profession? Besides you falling into the role.
I think I was attracted to the profession again for the same reasons. It was something I love to do, and then the fact that I could be paid to do something I love to do is it's a given. I mean, there's so few people that can truly say they love what they do, and I think the real professional nannies that take it seriously and have a real affinity for childcare and helping the lives of parents and families, it's fantastic. People that truly love to be a nanny and a family assistant, it's the best thing you can do.
So Okay, Emmy is taking one of my questions. This is, what adversities have you faced as a male nanny?
Being a male nanny, I would say, I mean, typically I've done all right because I don't apply for jobs that don't mention Manny in the title. Because I don't usually most job descriptions that geared towards females, and you can kind of tell by the verbiage that they just won't even entertain the idea of a male nanny. But I've
Hmm.
purely been placed through agencies in the past that obviously market me as a male nanny, because to market me otherwise would be wrong. Um, so
Right.
I've never had an issue finding work, which isn't strictly true. There are definitely less options out there for me, but at the end of the day, I only need one family at a time to make ends meet. Um, in in jobs specifically, I would say I have come across issues with families. Say, for example, I help a on the weekends. I'm with an 8-year-old boy and a 10-year-old girl. Um, the, when she turned 9, she had a big sleepover, and it was requested that I not work on the Saturday. They would rather the female nanny be in the house sleeping over with the kids. So things like that, they come up, but I can't, we can't change the world overnight. And there's always going to be people that just feel more comfortable with a female around their female young children. I mean, I'm a realist. Like, I I get why you can't, you know, reach everyone, but I can do what I do with what I've got, and I've converted many a people onto the benefits of a male nanny, and if I can just reach one person, that's fine by me.
Well, I'm telling you, there are plenty of male children out there. I have all boys, so having a manny would have been perfect for me.
Nice.
Not a problem. So, and it's not just boys, it's girls too.
Hmm.
But there shouldn't be. I talked to Matthew a few weeks ago about discriminating against male nannies and the troubles that he was going through. And now you're saying that you can only work for one family at a time. But there are times when people don't see you as a authority figure, or they just see you're male, she's a female. No, that's not,
Hmm.
and that shouldn't be so.
No,
But we live in a land where everybody has their preference. So
100%.
it is what it is.
Yeah.
Uh, okay. Alex says, as a woman, I get a lot of rude comments about how my job isn't a real job. So as a male, do you get these kinds of comments? Not a real job. I'm telling you, how do you
For some reason, I don't. I mean, when I when I tell people that I'm a Manny, um, they don't feel like, oh, he's a Manny until XYZ. I don't know. Maybe I tell them in a way that comes across as, you know, don't don't mess with the profession I've chosen, because it's what I want to do. And I think when I confidently tell people that this is what I do, they just they back down. I don't know. I don't, for some reason. It's kind of strange, because I help females find jobs too, and I'm in all the nanny groups, and I see that, when nannies tell people they're a nanny, they're just met with, oh, that's fantastic. You get paid to play with kids all day, and I wonder when your real job is going to kick in, until, and it's just, it's sad. It's a shame, but for some reason I don't come across any resistance or rude comments about how working with children is not a legitimate profession for me.
Well, maybe it's the way that you carry yourself
Maybe.
and the way you present it.
yeah, because you just have, you have to own who you are and you have to own what you do. And if they sense any hesitation in your voice, then they're gonna passively call you out on it. But if you stand up and you're like, yeah, I'm a professional nanny, then they're like, well, okay, then you can make money in that. Like, I mean, the follow-up question has been, oh wow, that's a job, you can do that full time. I'm like, yeah, how much do you make? It's just it's
Yeah.
yeah, it's good. It's empowering to tell people what you do, because if you can turn it around when I say it, they usually respect. They're like, well, more power to you. Like, that's insane that you can do that. I could never. I'm like, yeah, I don't blame you. It's tough.
Yeah, it can be. Greta says, do you like babies or older kids?
I like them both. I mean, my first real hardcore family assistant position was with three kids, two younger girls and a 12-year-old boy. And I would have said that, that age was my favorite age, because moving into puberty, starting to swear and think it's cool because their friends do it, and, really trying to ground them, because I feel like at that age there's kind of a fork in the road. And that was my favorite age. And then I got a job with a 6-year-old boy, and he was, learning what he's capable of. He would start a sport and be a pro within 3 weeks. And I'd be like, this is fantastic. You can mold their mind into anything and they just pick it up. So that was my favorite age. And then I got a job with a 6-month-old baby boy. And I mean, like, day one, that was my favorite age, because it was just fantastic. Like, I would teach them, I would say, where's the blue elephant? And they would point to the blue. I mean, it was in Spanish, because they wanted him to learn Spanish. So I would, ask him where the blue elephant was in Espanol, and he would point to it. And then I would see him walk for the first time, and I'd never seen that before. And, then you have to, like, keep it quiet until the parents see, because you don't want to go and ruin that moment for them. So I would see these things for the first time in his life that had never been done before. And it was just magical. And I went back to visit him a few months ago, and he was, when I left him, I was with him for about a year and a half, and he was just picking up some real language. And I went back a few months ago, and he was talking about carousels and soda water, and, like, he was like a real young adult to me, and it's just fascinating. I'm like, wow, you've grown up so fast, sir. This is fantastic. But yeah,
They do.
they really do. So I don't think I have a favorite age. I can just kind of assimilate to what's needed and just, hit the ground running.
Okay. Most nannies are chameleons. We just kind of go in, see the need, and conform to what needs to be done.
100%.
Can you hear me?
I did.
Okay.
I got a phone call.
Okay.
I just hung up on them.
Oh, sorry.
It was from New York.
Toya,
there's no one good in New York.
Okay. Toya says, have you ever experienced any discrimination from others when they learn that you work with children?
Discrimination from other nannies, did I hear? I missed it.
She said, have you ever experienced any discrimination from others when they learn that you work with children?
No.
When people learn that you work with children, have you been discriminated against?
No, I don't think so. If I have, then they've discriminated quietly or on the sly, but to my face, no, I don't believe that I have. I mean, I feel like, no, I really don't think that I have. Because honestly, like, you asked me what my life was like outside of the Manny world, and I don't really have a life outside of the Manny world. So everyone that meets me and speaks to me, I've either got a kid next to me or a business card in my hand. I mean, I get called the dad a lot, but I just roll with it. I just embarrass the kids. I'm like, I know, they grew up so fast, don't they? And just, I just play with it. But no, I don't think I face much discrimination to my face.
Okay.
Actually,
Okay.
wait a minute. So I'm at this
Okay.
Beverly Hills event right now, called Innovate. It's fantastic. You should Google it. But we're doing the network an hour before, and I told someone that, I'm a nanny, or I'm a male nanny, and they just looked at me like, oh, they gave me a really weird look, and they're like, oh, I would never. I mean, I would never trust a man around my children. I was like, okay, there goes my whole business plan. And I was like, tell me why, and they're like, unless they're friends or family, I just wouldn't trust a stranger around my kids. And I was biting my tongue with the statistic that like over 80% of assaults on young children committed by men are by people they know personally or family members. And I was like, just not going to go there because that's going to open a whole can of worms, because she had a couple of drinks. And I was like, I completely understand what you're saying. Respectfully disagree. Like I'm doing pretty well out of it, and I have a ton of families that trust me implicitly around their children. But I understand that we can't change the world overnight, and hopefully you'll see, you'll think differently in the future. I feel like I should have answered with that. I completely forgot that happened about 20 minutes ago.
Okay. All right. Do you think there is a growing trend for Manny's?
I hope so. I've built a business on it, so if there isn't, I'm in the long line of work. But that's the plan. I really, yes, I do. I do, because with all the gender inequality, the balance that we're seeing as females are accepted into typically professions, I'm kind of hoping the
you're breaking up on me.
flip side of that will ring true as well. Oh, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Hear me? Oh, you can? Okay, great. Where did we get?
I can hear. Yes.
Yes, I do. I do believe that more male nannies are going to be asked to come and look after their children.
Okay. Chris says, 10 years ago, what did you think you would be doing in your career life?
10 years ago was 2008. I have a bachelor's in forensic science, so I had very much planned to become a forensic scientist.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Yeah, I also applied for the British Secret Service, which is known as MI5. I can say that now because it was a long time ago. But yeah, I had a number of interviews for MI5 and GCHQ, which is basically England's Pentagon, but it's a donut. It's a circular shape, so we call it the donut. And yeah, that's I went that route for a short time.
Did you hear me?
Nope.
I said, so we have a Pentagon and y'all have a donut.
We have a donut, yeah, which is kind of ironic. I mean, based, for American culture, I feel like it would be the other way around, but who's to say,
True. We eat plenty of donuts.
I didn't say it.
Okay, Alexis says, maybe this is too personal, but does being a male make a difference in what a family chooses to pay?
I mean, I don't want to break the internet, so to speak, but generally, yeah. I typically find that the male nannies that I place in positions consistently make more than the female nannies. And yeah.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you were to put a male and a female, do you ever send more than one person to a family
Yeah. The good thing about a lot of
to
my,
interview?
yeah, a lot of my clients, the good thing about 95% of my clients is when they call me with my branding and everything I have attached to it, all they want is the best fit for their children. Like gender is not really, doesn't really weigh into what they're looking for. Like just today, I had someone she needs a temp nanny for her 6-year-old girl, and I was like, if you could close your eyes and picture the perfect caregiver for your kids, what do they look like? She's like, just active. I don't care how old they are. I don't care what gender they are. I just need someone active, sensitive, passionate, just really wanting to be in our home. And that's what I love. The family, the families that don't care about the gender, that's what I'm all about.
Okay.
The ones that just see beyond all that stuff.
They want someone that's genuinely there to take care of their child, regardless as to the gender.
Yeah.
Basically.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let's see. Hold on. Emmy wants to know, how do we get more men in childcare jobs and roles?
I would imagine that I'm hoping that advocacy will go a long way. I've built the whole agency. I specifically leave the branding as Manny's because that's what I want to push towards. I could very easily change the name and just take out Manny's altogether, but I really don't want to do that. I really want to push the Manny's name. The clients that know me and love me and use me consistently, like, they know that I place nannies, housekeepers, estate managers, that I do all that stuff. But I really want the Manny's name to be blasted out there again and again and again. So I feel like just getting more men in childcare out there is just find the best men that are great with kids, put them in a home, and then have the parents just sing their praises 24/7.
Okay. Sounds good to me. My son used to be my backup when I couldn't. I worked mainly with little boys. I would say 85% of my nanny life has been with boys, and so even with little girls, my son, if I had to be out and he was in town,
Mm-hmm.
bring him on over. We'll show him around. And the kids would ignore me like I wasn't even there. I'm like, wait a minute, you want to see me every day? They didn't care. They wanted.
Yeah, now you're done. You're out.
And if
Gone.
yes, I'm out. So if we were in competition, I would win because he was, he would just come in, and I don't know how he did it, but he just got them to do any and everything.
I
They,
mean,
I had 3 or 4 times, and he said, "Let's go do this," and I'm like, "How did you do that?"
that's
So yeah,
the
this is special.
that's the cool thing. I find that we don't male nannies, mannies, childcare, male professionals, like, not much is expected of them, which is really weird right now. I can place a guy in a family at the click of my fingers. If I just tell them that they're great with kids, and then I tell them, oh yeah, and they can cook and clean as well. Like, as soon as I say they can cook and clean as well, it's like, sign me up. I'm in. Like the fact that they're good with kids is the winner, but as soon as they know that they can do domestic things too, they're just take my money. Like, it's crazy. It's really, it's a again,
Wow.
it's a gender stereotype that they have in their head that I'm not gonna quash. Like, if they want to think that having a male nanny, and they can do this stuff as well, I'm like, yeah. Let me ask them. I'll check, but I'm pretty sure they can cook mac and cheese. They're like, no way. I'm like, yeah, they can do it. Like, it's kind of it's a really easy in. Like, I feel like I'm kind of cheating sometimes, but it's cool. I'm gonna ride this wave until it doesn't work anymore.
Well, ride the wave, ride the wave.
Yeah.
Okay, Sue Down wants to know if you were president of the nanny world, what is the first thing you would change in your profession besides having more men present in it?
The president of the nanny world. That's a big.
Yes, the president of the nanny world.
I would make I would unionize in a heartbeat. I would make every nanny paid legally, like every other profession out there that's taken seriously. I would ensure that every nanny is entitled to Social Security and all the benefits that go with every other profession that exists. I would align closely with the Domestic Rights Union that I think is based in New York, and I would use that as the standard for every single job out there. And I would just continue to professionalize the industry and knock out all the nannies that are just in it for a paycheck and just really focus on the males and females that want to do the best thing for the future. Did I break off there?
No, we can hear you.
I think
Can
I
you hear
finished.
me?
Yeah, I don't know if you got
Okay.
all that. I'm not
Okay.
repeating it.
Yes, I got all that. I don't know if they did, but I did. Okay, so
All right, that's good enough for me.
what is one thing you wish caregivers knew about interviewing with you as an agency and with families that would help them interview better?
I am currently writing a blog about this that I should be out in a couple of days. But I would just love it if nannies came with everything that we asked them to bring. I would love it if they had their resume, their jobs, the date they started, the date they ended, the contact details of the family. I would love it if they had letters of recommendation. If they have their CPR current, that's perfect. If they don't, that's okay too. We can handle that. I would love it if they dressed to meet me as they would dress to meet a family. That would be great because I just want to see how they would act in front of the family. And then when they meet said family, I would love it if they did eye contact. I would love it if they shook their hand firmly and confidently, not like a wet fish. I would love it if the kids were present, that they would interact with the kids, not to the point where they've forgotten that an interview's happening, but not also on the other end of the spectrum where they're just blinkered out the children entirely. There's a fine medium. You know, you're there, you're in an interview to be around children. If there's a child present, it's natural that you're going to deviate and your attention will be focused on them because that's what you're being interviewed for.
Right.
I think that covers the main ones, I would imagine. Just be confident, stand your own. If you know that you're not good in interviews, ask for some pointers from your agency because they want you to get the job. They're desperate for you to get the job or they wouldn't have sent you. So the agencies will do everything in their power for you to get the job. Having said that, they're not gonna try and jam a square peg in a round hole because it's not gonna. They need longevity and they need the relationship to be sustained. So they're not going to try and make you into somebody or not, but they're going to bring out and coach you to bring out what they know is inside you that you might not even know is inside you. So trust the agencies. Trust the reputable agencies.
Okay. Now, dress as if they are going to meet the parent. Now, I have a personal, this is just me personally, I don't know about anybody else. I always dress in either jeans or khakis and my polo shirt with my logo on it. because I never know if I have to go to the floor or if I'm what exactly I'm going to do. When, like you said, when children are there, you never know. I had a child drag me outside, because that's what and I got the job because
Yeah,
I wasn't afraid to go outside sprinklers. Now, what is your requirement when you say dress appropriate? What is your requirement when they go to an interview?
I tell I tell nannies and I tell everyone dress as you would as if you were going in to work, but a little bit smarter. Like, because people, you're rushing into work on a Friday, you're probably going to throw on some 2-day old pants and a random shirt. But if you're going into an interview, dress smartly. But if you're about to, be jumped on by a 6-year-old, be ready to handle that. Like if you're wearing a blouse and you're wearing a blazer and some dress pants, then I think it's a little extreme. I think, I
Thank you. Thank
yeah. I mean, you have to be ready for anything. That's the whole profession. No day is ever the same, and no interviews is ever the same. I've been in some interviews where I've just been, I've had 2 kids just literally attack me, and I've been doing, piggyback rides around the house, and I got the job that way. I would also say it depends where you meet them. If you're meeting in a coffee shop in a public place, you can tend to dress a little bit smarter because you're not going to be attacked by children. But if you're going to the home,
you. Right.
then dress like you would on the job.
Okay. Yes. Megan said it also depends on the family. So,
Y-
but
yeah,
like I said, I personal preference is to have my polo shirt on. Now I have it tucked in on my belt and some low heel shoes. Now I think every day because I'm going to be outside in the park, but I have a pair of low heel shoes on, my polo shirt, and either khakis or jeans, so that I can get on the floor, or if the baby spits up on me, or whatever the case may be,
yeah.
I can feel comfortable, but yet look like I'm put together,
Hmm.
and I put together with purpose.
Yeah,
And that's one of the reasons why I wear my shirt with my logo, because this is me. This is how I'm presenting myself. I'm professional enough, but I'm also down to earth enough where like I can't have your child.
yeah,
Hey, how you
exactly.
doing down there? No, no, no.
Yeah, yeah.
So I have another. What has been your favorite thing about America? That's what Greta wants to know.
I would have to say that Greta is my favorite part about America, and yeah, that's about it really. Probably Greta. But then, if you want to know my serious answer, I would probably say, again, I don't know my best part about America, but my best part about Los Angeles is the fact that I can come here, and I've been here 5 years now and 3 months, and I've got a business, and I've got a car, and I've got a home, and I've worked with a bunch of families that love and respect me, and I've just, I've felt so welcomed by everyone and everything. And I mean, the fact that I'm here outside, Beverly Hills City Hall, going into a charity function that I was personally invited to, like, it's just very, very nice. I mean, when I first came to America, LA was the last place I thought I would ever ever want to come to, because it's just, well, I had my reasons, like, I don't see myself in this world, this Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, Kardashian world. But being here, like, I can see why people are drawn to it and why they love it. I'm not looking to be an actor. I'm not looking to market myself as anything other than what I am, and I feel like it's been well received. You know, I'm sure I make mistakes along the way, but I don't make them out of malice or ill intent. You know, I'm just finding my way through.
So I have one last question because I know you have to go to your function.
Ah, they're fine.
Where do you find where do you find the families that you work with? They come to you, you advertise, or do they just word of mouth?
Um,
How do you find most of your families?
I would say that. So my chronology of LA was I worked at a summer camp. They found me online, and then from the summer camp, one of the kids at the summer camp wanted me to be their on-call babysitter, so I did that. And then the mom had a friend who places nannies and mannies, and so she found me a family, and then she found me another family, and then from there it was all referrals. Just people seeing me doing
Wow.
my thing, and yeah, it's just all referrals. Even with the agency, it's I would say about 90% referral based.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Uh, Megan said she's so excited about hearing from Manny. Is there anything we can do as nannies to make nannies feel more welcome in the community?
Nah, you guys are pretty good. I mean, I don't feel I don't feel ostracized or belittled or anything like that. I mean, I, if I'm currently speaking to a room full of women, I would just say, you know, keep up what you're doing. I mean, I know that there's a separation between male nannies and female nannies because that's just the nature of the human race. But no, I think if we just all have you know, the common interests, then that's all we can do. Just as long as we're all on the same page as to what we're providing and what we're giving, and we're all in it for the right reasons, then naturally more guys will follow suit.
Good, good, good. Okay. Anyone else have any more questions before we go? I just want me. You all asked a whole lot of questions. Got off. You said you work with nannies and mannies, right?
Yes, yeah. I mean, I began as a male nanny agency, but I found out very quickly that in itself is gender discrimination. so, yeah, we don't want to be discriminating based on gender because that's irony of the highest order. So yeah, I work with all genders, all of them.
Okay. Do you just work in the Los Angeles area, or do you work all across the country?
I
I
my
say, do you place people
oh,
across the country, not just in LA?
we've placed outside of LA before, but typically because I like to meet every single nanny and family that I work with, it's mostly LA.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, at this stage.
Okay. I said that was my last question, but I have one more.
Okay.
I know you were volunteering. Now, does your agency, do you all of your nannies get together and you all volunteer together, or do you all have a back the community project you work on anything?
I'm working on it. The volunteering event I did. The volunteering event I did last week was only me. It was we were creating. It was through the Beverly Hills Chamber of Commerce. We were building hygiene packs for people that live on the streets. So that was awesome. And in the past, I've worked closely with a company called Baby to Baby. that takes gently used clothing and toys, and it supplies it to childcare centres and outreach centres to help the less fortunate families. But I am working on a few events that are community based with my crew. Can you hear me?
Cool. Cool. Okay. Well, I don't have any more questions. If you have any more questions, we'll be here for another minute. Do you have any words of advice for someone who's going to an agency, enrolling with an agency, someone who is thinking about getting into
We're just not going to go in.
I think my biggest advice, if you're working with an agency, respond to their phone calls, reply to their emails in due time. Like, they're emailing you for a reason. So if you see it and you ignore it, that doesn't do well for you. If you want to be represented by an agency, then you have to represent yourself, and you have to have the information that they need to do the best job that they can. If you're looking into getting childcare from some other profession, or you're looking to grow in the business, you just have to be in it for the right reasons. Because if you're not, then what's the point? If you're just trying to make a few bucks until something else comes along, that's fine too, but you have to love what you do. You have to, because if you don't, there really is no point. You can work somewhere else and hate your job. That's fine, go do that. But if you're going to work with children and with families, you have to love it. You have to.
So true. So true. So true. If you don't love children, if you can't hate children, why be a nanny? Why be a nanny? Don't do it. It's not just.
I've met a bunch of nannies that I are like obviously one of my main questions is, why do you want to be a nanny? And it pays really well. I'm like, I mean, yeah, it does if you're good at it. But if that's the first thing that comes out of your mouth when I ask that question, done. Like, no, move on. Like, it's just no. Yeah, they're an instant get out of here.
For you. Just move on. Yeah.
It's awkward. But yeah, I mean, you have to want it and you have to love it, because you can work at McDonald's and hate it, and you can disguise it really well, but with families in their home, around their relatives and their friends, you can only put on a facade for so long before the cracks begin to show. And it's just not worth
it. This is so true. You can't hide it from, not from a mama. Children are so transparent. They will call you out. Seriously.
Oh yeah.
A child will call you and let you know. No.
Yeah.
No.
I got called out yesterday. I got called out yesterday by an 8-year-old boy. Like, called out hands down. He had me done. I had a nanny who was trying with her family, and I wanted to know how it went. So I was playing tennis with one hand and I had my phone in the other, and he's really good at tennis, and he aimed that ball right at my hand and knocked my phone out of my hand. He was like, "Get off your phone." I'm like, "All right, that's fair." I'm like, "That's fair. Got me."
Okay.
Like, so they know. But yeah,
yes, they know.
That's me.
So true. No.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you so much for coming on. Like you said, third time as a child.
It was close. But I didn't plan to be doing it outside.
Well, wherever you are, it's you're here. And thank you for the Nanny and Manny 101. Because some of us need to hear, I have to say, for giving us tips and for giving us insight into the man. We appreciate it.
Anytime. Wow.
And
Any
I hope we can get you back on soon. I'm planning in the works for to have a show about nanny agencies, so that tips and tricks as to how you know continue what you just started the nanny agency 101, how to get there, how
100%.
to work well with a because a lot of us, it's hard out here trying to find the right fit and the right family and to help support our families. And a lot of people when we post online at the places, online it's like, okay, we want to pay $1 an hour for 4 kids, and we're
Yeah.
like, really? And they call us out there, and knowing that this is not how much, this is not what we charge.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of down and down and down. I'm like, really, seriously?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's the issues of yours that are advocates for us and say, look, this is how much we're charging. This is how much she needs to make.
Mm-hmm.
Bottom line.
Yeah.
They listen to you all.
Yeah.
When we're on our own, it's like, oh,
No, it's good. And
so,
I say that even if you're not being placed through an agency and you just need their guidance and support, they should, again, a reputable agency should be on your side. I help tons of nannies and mannies that aren't being placed through me, being placed through other agencies, and they feel like they can come to me and ask me certain questions and look over the agreement. And I love that. That's, it's not about just making placements.
yay.
It's just good to be there for people. Period.
Thank you.
Yeah.
See, I love that philosophy. I love that. I love it. I love it. I love it. Well, thank you so much for coming on again,
Of
and
course.
thank you for the nannies and the nanny community. And hopefully, if you become the president of the nanny community, get all
Yeah.
and thank you, Sue, for asking that question.
Yeah, thanks, Sue.
Because now you have implemented little seeds into our heads, and like, yeah, we need that. Yes.
Yeah.
So thank you so much, and we'll let you get back to your event and have a great time tonight. And show up and show out for the Nanny and Manny world.
All right. Thank you so much.
All right. You're welcome. Thank
All right.
you.
Take care.
All right. You
Bye.
too.
Bye.
Bye. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, Danny for Nanny President. I totally agree with you, Emmy. Um, Thank you all for joining us tonight, and special thanks to Danny for joining us and giving us some insight into the Manny world and his agency. Um, Next week we are going to have what I like to call creative learning. Nannies who, I know a lot of you all do preschool with your children, and I know you do a lot of creative artwork and things. I have some ladies that were coming on that are, one is from Nanny Me Creatively, and one is from Just Ask Nanny, and uh, another's from, she used to be a teacher, but now she's a nanny. Her group is called Teach Itis. If anybody knows what itis is, you know how, so her group is called Teach Itis. So we're going to have 3 young ladies on, and they're going to give us some creative ways of learning, some creative ways of teaching our children through arts and crafts. Just some unconventional, what I like to call unconventional teachable moments that, kids love to learn, and they will love to, do projects. They can learn through those too, and I'm sure you all know this. But those of you who do preschool with your charges, please be sure to be here. And those of you who are just looking for some creative ways to add to your repertoire of uh, of nanny crafts and learning activities, be here too. So we will see you all next week. And oh, what I didn't say was on the 17th. Those of you who are going to the INA conference, be ready. I will be there. And Ask the Nanny is coming with me. So I will be looking forward to meeting all of you all who have watched Ask the Nanny. I have a long list of people who I want to meet, and I'm hoping that all of you all are there. And I want to get some hugs. I want to, get to know you better, because watching, contacting you and going back and forth on Facebook is, excuse me, is fine. But I really would like to make some connections and to talk with you and pick your brains and, just get to know more about you all. So we will see you all next week. Same time, same place. Have a good week.